Hi students, how are you? So in last class, we were discussing about the reproduction in human beings. We saw that after fertilization, a single-celled zygote is formed. Then zygote divides to form embryo. Embryo develops into a fetus and all. And we have learned that some animals give birth to young ones, while some animals lay eggs which later develop into young ones. We know human beings or animals like lion, tiger, cow, goat, cat, dog, all these are giving birth to young ones. They are not laying eggs. They are giving birth to young ones. So the animals which give birth to young ones are called viviparous animals. So viviparous animals means the animals that give birth to young ones are called viviparous animals. But you know, birds, frogs, lizard, butterfly, tortoise, all these are laying eggs. They are not giving birth to young ones. So those animals which lay eggs are called oviparous animals. Oviparous. So oviparous animals lay eggs. Viviparous animals give birth to their young ones. Okay. Example, you know. Okay. Now, there is one more group called ovoviviparous animals. So, another group is called ovoviviparous animals. So, this ovoviviparous animals means they produce eggs. But usually, what about oviparous animals? Their egg is produced in their body and they are laying out that egg. But here, ovoviviparous animals, egg is produced in their body. But they are not laying these eggs. The eggs develop inside the mother's body and a live organism is born. So here the eggs are hatched inside the body. So eggs are produced in their body but they are not laying down the eggs. The eggs are hatched inside the body of the animal and the young ones are coming out. So they are called as ovoviviparous animals. So some sharks, some snakes like viper, some fishes are all examples for ovoviviparous animals. That means eggs are produced in their body but the eggs are hatched inside the body and young ones are coming out from their body. Viviparous means those who give birth to young ones. Oviparous means those who lay eggs. Ovoviviparous means those who produce eggs but eggs are hatched inside the body and young ones are coming out from their body. The new individuals which are born or hatched from the eggs continue to grow till they become adults. So usually the new individuals that are born or a kitten, what happens? Kitten will grow into a cat or a chick will grow into a hen. So usually in most of the animals, the young ones at the time of birth have body parts similar to those present in the adults. So when we look at a kitten, we know kitten have body parts similar to that of a cat. Or a chick has body parts that is similar to a hen. So young ones have body parts that look similar to those present in the adults. But in some animals, the young ones may look very different from the adults. So when we look at the young one, we don't know it is the young one of which animal. Its body parts are entirely different. So you recall the life cycle of silkworm that you studied in 7th standard. So which are the stages of silkworm? So silkworm, first we can see first stage is egg. When egg develops into what? So first we can see egg. Then egg develops into a caterpillar. Then what happens? It develops a cocoon around it and that stage is called pupa. Then it develops wings and develop into a adult silk moth. So you remember these stages, no? So here, what about the young one of silkworm? Young one that hatches from the egg, that is a caterpillar. So what about the shape? Is its shape similar to that of adult silk moth? It is entirely different. Adult silk moth have wings and all, but caterpillar is entirely different. So its body parts are entirely different from that of adult. So like this, frog is also another such example. So whose body parts of young ones are different from those of the adult. So now we can look at the different stages of development in the life cycle of a frog. So there are three distinct stages in the life cycle of frog. So first stage is egg. Then egg hatches out and the larva comes out. Larva is called as tadpole. Then the tadpole develops into an adult frog. So these are the three distinct stages in the life cycle of a frog. Or you can see early tadpole, then early tadpole will develop into late tadpole, then that will become an adult frog. Okay. So what about the shape of the tadpole and adult frog? Look at the shape of tadpole. Now you look at the shape of a frog. Does the tadpole look similar to that of a frog? It is entirely different. So similarly, what about the caterpillar of a silk moth and a silk moth, adult silk moth? Their shape is entirely different. So their young ones look very different from the adult ones. So the features that are present in the adult are not found in these young ones. Then what happens to the tadpole or this caterpillar afterwards? We can see that the caterpillar changes into pupa and a beautiful silk moth coming out from the pupa. So it is changed into a silk moth. Or in the case of frog, what happened? Tadpole will transform into an adult frog. So in the case of silkworm or in the case of frog, we can see that the larva undergoes so many changes to become adult. And the transformation of the larva into an adult through drastic changes is called metamorphosis. So what is metamorphosis? Metamorphosis. So what is metamorphosis? The transformation of the larva into an adult through so many drastic changes. That is called metamorphosis. So larva or the young one is undergoing so many changes to become an adult. That is called metamorphosis. So we can see metamorphosis in the life cycle of a butterfly or silk moth and frog also. Okay. Then what about human beings? Look at the young one of human being. The body parts of a young baby is similar to that of an adult human being. Our next topic is asexual reproduction. So we were discussing about the reproduction in human beings, hen, frog, etc. All these were having sexual reproduction. Then what about very small animals or microscopic animals? Do they reproduce? Or what type of reproduction is taking place in them? Is it sexual or asexual? In sexual reproduction, we can see that there are two parents. One male and one female is involved. Or one father and mother is there. But in asexual reproduction, there is only a single parent. So only a single parent is involved in asexual reproduction. So first we can discuss about the reproduction in Hydra. So we can look what type of reproduction is taking place in Hydra. So Hydra is a small freshwater organism. So it is a small freshwater organism and it have a body and a mouth is present and surrounding mouth you can see some structures called tentacles. So in hydra, when they mature, small bulges develop on their body. So when this hydra mature, we can see small bulges develop on their body. And these bulges are developing new individuals and they are called buds. So what we call these bulges? These bulges are called buds. Then afterwards what happens? These buds will begin to grow. And it will begin to grow and mouth and tentacles will develop. And after completing its growth, it detaches from the parent hydra. Okay, it separates from the parent hydra and then it will grow into a new individual. So it will grow into a new individual. It will detach and develop into a new individual. So here a new one is developed from a single parent. Here no father and mother, only one single parent is there. From this single parent a bud develops and a new hydra grows and it detaches and separates and grow into a new individual. So this is not sexual reproduction, this is asexual reproduction because there is only a single parent. Okay, this type of reproduction in which only a single parent is involved is called asexual reproduction. And here in the case of hydra, new individuals develop from the buds in hydra. So this type of asexual reproduction is called budding. So what is the type of reproduction in hydra? The type of reproduction in hydra is called budding. Okay, so what happens in hydra? A small bud develops, then it grows and after completing its growth, it detaches from the parent and grows into a new individual. And it is developing from only a single parent. So it is asexual reproduction. And since it is developing buds, this process is called budding. So which is the mode of reproduction in hydra? It is bud. Now we can look at the method of reproduction in amoeba. In amoeba also we can see asexual reproduction. So you know the structure of amoeba. So what about its shape? It is shapeless. So there is a nucleus and it is surrounded by cytoplasm. And when it matures at the time of reproduction, its nucleus divides into two. So nucleus will divide into two. Okay, so first stage amoeba is like this. Second stage, what happens? Its nucleus divides into two. Then in third stage, what happens? Cytoplasm also will begin to divide. And in fourth stage, we can see cytoplasm divides and it develops into two amoebae. So it develops into two amoebae. So one single amoeba develop into two amoebae. Okay. So what is happening here? One single cell is divided into two different individuals. Two different cells or two different individuals. So amoeba is a single celled microscopic organism. So in it, how the reproduction is taking place? First the nucleus divides and the division of nucleus is followed by the division of cytoplasm. Then cytoplasm also will begin to divide and it divides completely into two different cells or two different amoebae. So two amoebae are produced from one amoeba. So here what name we can give for this asexual reproduction? In hydra we saw buds are developed. So the name of reproduction in hydra is budding. Here what we can say? Here it is divided into two. So fission means what? Division. Binary means two. So what is the name of or type of reproduction in amoeba is? It is called as binary fission because it is dividing into two. Binary means two, fission means division. So the type of reproduction or mode of reproduction in amoeba is called binary fission. In hydra it is budding and in amoeba it is binary fission. Not only budding and binary fission, there are so many other methods of asexual reproduction like fragmentation, regeneration, multiple fission, spore formation, etc. So you will study about all these in your higher classes. Okay, so our 9th lesson is over. So in this lesson, we discussed about the mode of reproduction in human beings, hen, frog and all, and we saw that in all these organisms, sexual reproduction is taking place. That is, two parents are involved, mother and father is involved. And reproduction is taking place by the fusion of male gamete and female gamete. We discussed about the type of reproduction taking place in Hydra and Amoeba. And in Hydra and Amoeba, we can see it is asexual reproduction because only a single parent is involved. One single parent is divided into two new individuals. So only a single parent. So it is called asexual reproduction. And the mode of asexual reproduction in Hydra is called budding. And the mode of asexual reproduction in amoeba is called binary fission. Clear now? Okay, bye.